Hey guys, Tara here from Recovering Book Hoarder, and today is March 2021, TBR. So, this is going to be a little bit different this month. Last month, I had so much on my TBR, between my normal TBR and then Historathon. It was a lot. So, this is going to kind of be my last month before I have a new TBR game. It is an original TBR game that I have created from scratch and been working really hard on, and I'm really excited about it. Because of that, this is also going to be the last month I actually participate in any readathons, because I want to be able to focus on that TBR game. And I'm kind of going to be incorporating some readathon stuff into that game, which you guys will see when I go over it. So for this month, I have a couple books that I really wanted to get to last month. I wasn't able to just because my TBR was so huge. And then I have my different yearly challenges I'm working on, plus Middle Grade March, which is the last readathon I'll be participating in this year. And yeah, so really we're only going to be spinning one wheel, and that is just to see what my 21 books in 2021 choice is going to be for this month. Typically I spin it twice. However, last month, another pick for, one of my Historathon picks was one of the books for my 20 and 2021, plus I had spun my wheel twice. So I read the Historathon pick, plus the other 20 and 2021. One of those I didn't get to finish though. So this month, since I did do two last month, this month I only spun once because I need to finish the other one. And the other one, which was, I'll just go ahead and show you now, which is The Invisible Life by Genevieve Cogman. I did not want to rush through this. It's a very atmospheric book. I'm really enjoying it. So instead of rushing through it, I said, I'm just going to do a carryover into March. And I'm a little less than halfway through it at this point. And so this is on my TBR for this month as a carryover. The other two that are being carried over are Charming the Highlander by Janet Chapman, which was a reread from my wheel, and then the final book in the 1Q84 series, and I really want to finish this series. So these are my carryovers. I think those are the only ones. Okay. Typically I spin a wheel for my 5-star predictions. However, this month, one of my 5-star predictions is the book that was chosen for April over at Getting Hugga With It for her Patreon group book read. And so I'm not going to spin the wheel because I'm going to read along with that group read. And that is The Pull of the Stars by Emma Donohoe. So this one takes place during the Spanish flu in 1918, Dublin. Says 3 days in a maternity ward at the height of the Great Flu. A small world of work, risk, death, and unexpected love by the best-selling author of The Wonder and Room. So, really looking forward to this, obviously, if it's a 5-star prediction. And so, no wheel for that this time. That is what we're going to read. All right, so let's go ahead and spin the wheel for my other one for the 21 books in 2021. All right, so the book that we got for that is What It's Like to Be a Bird by David Allen Sibley. And this says, from flying to nesting, eating to singing, what birds are doing and why. I've recently become interested in birds, and this had like popped up right when it came out last year on my Barnes & Noble. I kept getting it in like newsletters and stuff and decided to jump and buy it, so it's time to read it. All right, I do have another book club I am in, and that is Krista's book club over at Books and Jams. And the book that was chosen for this month is Green Glass House by Kate Milford. Put that right there because I don't have it yet. I need to get that one, and it was actually on my wish list anyway. I had heard somebody talk about it. I think it was Alexandra Rosen, I think. I'm pretty sure that's who it was. Anyway, it sounds like such a fun read. Really fun read. Plus, it's middle grade, so middle grade March. And Krista is one of the hosts for middle grade March also. Okay, some of the challenges I'm doing this year. I'm doing the Unread Bookshelf Challenge, and the main prompt for March is a book bought on a trip. I don't have any books that I bought on a trip. I actually just read the last book I had purchased on the trip last month, in January, a book I bought at Disney. So I decided to twist this one a little bit, and instead I'm going to read a book about someone who goes on a trip. And so for that one, I am going to be reading Growing Up Dead, The Hallucinated Confessions of a Teenage Deadhead by Peter Connors. And could take a trip to mean so many things when we're talking about the Grateful Dead. But Peter Connor, this is his journey from straight-laced suburban kid to touring with the Grateful Dead. So I've had this for quite a while. Actually, I think this is technically my husband's book. Pretty sure I bought this for him for Christmas a couple years ago. But it has made its way to my shelf. Yeah. So, loosely speaking about a book bought on a trip. Right, then the bonus prompt for the Unread Shelf Book Challenge is on your shelf longer than 1 year. For this one, I'm going to read The Circle Maker by Mark Batterson. And actually, so for the BookTube spin, this is on my list for the BookTube spin. And one of the rules was you had to write down your list before the spin happened so that everybody could see what the numbers were and you didn't cheat, you know? Well, the number that was chosen was number 15, and I had inverted 14 and 15. It was one thing on Instagram, and it was listed another way on BookTube and in my my reading journal. So I read Plan B already because this is supposed to happen over February and March. I had read Plan B, but the other one that I think it technically was supposed to be was this one, which is The Circle Maker. So this way I make sure I'm definitely reading the one that I was supposed to read for the BookTube spin, and it's also been on my shelf for over a year for sure. Okay, then I'm also participating in the Buzzword Reading Challenge for the year, and this month the word is time. So I have chosen The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. This will be my second Riley Sager novel. I really enjoyed the first one I read, which was Home Before Dark. I think that's what it's called. It's Home Before Dark. So let's see if I really like Riley Sager or if that was a one-off. Okay, then the last challenge that I'm participating in this year is the Read Your Bookshelf Challenge, which is hosted by Chantel over at The Intentional Reader. I'll link her down below. Everybody I've talked about and mentioned in this video will be linked down below in the description box. And the prompt for that is recommended by a friend. So for that, I am actually going to read, this is a book series that was given to me by my friend Beverly, who has since passed away. And these have been on my shelf for a while. So decided to give the first one a go, and that is A Noble Masquerade by Christy Ann Hunter. This is the Hawthorne House series, and I believe this is a Christian fiction, and it's a Regency kind of romance tale. All right, those are my challenges. Before we get into middle grade March, there's a couple other ones that I want to read and I'll tell you why. First one, Cassidy has been bugging the crap out of me about wanting to pick a book for me because it's been quite a while since I've gotten a prompt, Cassidy's Choice. So I asked her, do you want to pick a book for me this month? And she said yes. Asked her if she wanted to be on camera doing so. And surprisingly, she said no. So she chose Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And this is, it's obviously a reread, but this is a brand new edition that I got. And this is the illustrated Mina Lima edition. And Mina Lima, which is I think it's a husband and wife illustrating duo, is hands down one of my favorite illustrators. I am collecting their stuff. So I am very anxious to get into this one and see the absolutely amazing artwork that's going to be in here. All right, then I have a very long awaited series conclusion here. It has been at least 2 years, well over 2 years, since Cara Marie Montag has released a novel. And this had gotten pushed back. It was supposed to be out last year, pushed back into 2021, and it has finally been released. And I have such mixed feelings on this because it's the conclusion to a series that has been going on for a very, very long time. Well over a decade at this point. And I feel like I'm going to be losing friends because when a series is that long and you get to know these characters so well, you just hate for it to end. And so I'm anxious because it's ending, but I'm really excited to read it because it's been so long since we've been in the universe. And that is Kingdom of Shadow and Light. This is the last one in the Fever series. Cara Marie Montag. I just hope so badly that this lives up to the hype that is in my heart. All right, then I have two other ones that, you know, for anyone that doesn't know, my background is as a behavior specialist specializing in autism. And in all the years that I have worked with the autism community, which is 18 years, 18 years I've been in the field. And I have worked with many, many, many males who have gone through puberty over those 18 years. Autism is much more rare in the female population. And I have never worked with a female on the autism spectrum that has gone through puberty. I have worked with a lot of females whenever they were younger, like early intervention age and in elementary school, but never through puberty. And my daughter has level 1 autism, which I like to say is the diagnosis formerly known as Asperger's. And she's going through puberty. And it is just so different. I'm feeling very out of my element, and there's no one that I can talk to that has gone through something similar. And so I went looking for books, of course, and I found two. So I'm going to read at least one of these, if not both of them, this month. And the first one is called Aspergirls by Rudy Simon, and that's Empowering Females with Asperger's Syndrome. And then the second one is called Girls Growing Up on the Autism Spectrum, What Parents and Professionals Should Know About the Preteen and Teenage Years. And this is by Shannon Nichols with Gina Marie Morovic and Samara Poliver Tettenbaum. That's a mouthful. And so hopefully I will get some much needed wisdom from these books. Okay, moving into the fun stuff, and that would be middle grade March. I plan on reading all of the prompts, including the group read. So let's start with the group read, which is The Brave by James Bird. And I had never heard of this book before they made the announcement. And on the front it says, this lyrical tale will leave your hopes buoyed, your courage bolstered, and your heart on the lookout for magic. And doesn't that just sound beautiful? we'll just read the back real quick. I can't believe my dad tracked down my mother just to hand me off. I'm like a hot potato. No one keeps me for too long. I wonder how he asked her to take me. Did he beg? I bet she regrets answering the phone. Did he even tell her about my counting problem? Oh. Anyway, it sounds really good. So the first book that I'm going to read is To Fulfill the Prompt, Silhouette on the Cover. And that is an ebook that was provided to me by the author for an honest review. And that is going to be the book Ghosters by Diana Corbett. And if you look at the little picture, there's a silhouette in the window. And from what I understand, this is a book about a girl and her brother who is also on the autism spectrum. The girl's not. The brother is. Also, because I was just talking about my daughter. And I think the house is haunted. And it just sounds like, a lot of fun. And I had never heard of this author before, so I am really excited to give it a read. Okay, the next one is a book featuring action or adventure. And for that, I am going to read the third book in the Nevermore trilogy. So, not trilogy, because I believe more coming out, Nevermore series by Jessica Townsend, and that is Hollowpox. I have actually gotten this one on Audible, and my plan is to listen to this because April, over at Getting Hooga with It, said it's really good on audio. And I need to have something to read, or to listen to also. So, anxious to read more about Morrigan. All right, the next one is Published in the Decade That You Were Born. And for that, I'm going to be reading the poetry book of The Light in the Attic by Shel Silverstein. Not only was this published in the decade that I was born, but it is also published in the year that I was born, which is 1981. Strong Family Element is the next prompt. And for that, I'm going to read the book Wonder by that's the foreword. By R.J. I have no idea how to say this. Palacio? R.J. Palacio. Let's go with that. And this was most recently a movie, which I did not see. Heard great things about. And yeah, I'm anxious to read the book. And I know, based on the movie previews I saw, that there's definitely a strong family element in this book. Okay, and then the last prompt is a fairy tale retelling. And for that, I'm going to read Flunked by Jen Kalanita. And in December, pretty sure it was December, I read The Misfits, which I really enjoyed, and discovered when reading that was a spin-off from this series, which I hate reading things out of order. So I immediately ordered this one, and I'm happy I'm going to be reading it. And so this is the first in the Fairy Tale Reform School series. Okay, so on the back it says, our mission, to turn wicked delinquents and former villains into future heroes. And if it's like Misfits was, it's going to just be a fun read. I think it's fun. I love retellings. I really liked Jen Kalanita's writing style. And yeah, all right, so that's my last one. So, still a lot, of course. I cannot have, my goal moving forward, starting in April, I'm going to have like 12, 13 books max on my TBRs each month. Just ridiculous. So, I think it's doable. All right. What are you guys reading? Have you read any of these that I have chosen? Are you participating in Middle Grade March? If so, I want to hear what you have to say down in the comments. If you like what you see, don't forget to go over and subscribe. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And all right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.